We are still offline.
I don't think I am.
Check your Twitch. Does it say online?
Yeah, no, I'm live. I am live. Hey.
My OBS says I'm live, but my Twitch doesn't.
I can check. Yep, I'm live right now, and yeah, I don't see you either, which is weird.
Trying something. Press my freaking password.
Doesn't say that I'm live on YouTube though, which is weird. Oh, yes, okay, I am live on YouTube. The only thing that bugs me is that I can't see. Like, does it tell you in multi-chat when somebody joins the stream?
No.
Well, if you are here looking and I can't see you, welcome. We are gonna get started in just a second. Ray is currently trying to find out why she's not live on Twitch.
There you go!
Yay!
We're on!
Yay!
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like it to be known that we started doing this at, like, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so basically we've been on this for an hour and a half trying to set everything up. It was a chore.
I like that you changed the description of your stream to doing something a little different today.
It's been that way for a while.
Oh, okay.
Because I had changed it to We All Have Anxiety. We all have anxiety here for the dancing stream. So I had to change it again. So
well, anyway, welcome everybody. My name is the Anti-Ableist, or Mike, and I am joined today by the lovely, talented, wonderful Ray and Allie. Ray, welcome.
no. Yeah, if anyone finds Rayan to be too complicated because there's an E in it, you feel free to call me Ray. Yeah, so today we are going to be doing some Reddit posts on disability.
I do want to add one thing, though. The only reason that Ray is telling you all that is because I have a hard time pronouncing the name, so yeah.
No, because everyone has a hard time pronouncing the name for some reason. If you put a Y, no one has a hard time. But if you put an E, they're like, it fries their brain. Like it's
Well,
still
actually,
the same pronunciation.
Actually, for Canadian, since you are a Canadian, you should actually put an EH. Way an A, Allie? What you can't say right now is that Ray is currently giving me a look.
I think my model showcased it enough. Anyway, we are going to move past that.
Yeah.
Wait, why is that on?
Okay, so first of
Okay,
all,
no, nothing's wrong.
I wanna just explain a little bit about what I'm doing. So I've been watching a lot of Am I the Asshole content by a creator named Helby. And I really like it and I really enjoy it, and I think that it's something that I want to try in my own niche, like disability specific, um, to try and diversify my content. So if I don't have a specific video I want to make, I can, do a live stream, read some Reddit posts, hopefully give some advice, bring people on and read some with me. And hopefully at some point have viewers who also want to give their opinion, and then, post those to TikTok and stuff like that. So,
Yay! And
yeah,
Mike is my good friend, so I'm hanging out with him and helping him out.
yeah, this
I
is
also got my own Reddit stories about disability too, but yeah, my own Reddit stories.
this is day number one of us trying this out. And it only took us an hour and a half to get things started. So, on that note, we are going to read the first story.
Mostly because Mike couldn't
Which
understand stuff.
I'm sorry.
Mostly because Mike couldn't understand stuff.
The title of this post is actually how I'm feeling right now, Ray. I am offended. And okay, so, this first story comes to us from r/disability. I will let you all know I'm reading off of a tablet because I can't read the text on a tiny screen unless you want to be looking at my nose for the entire stream. So, here we go. So, how offended would you be if someone of close relation consistently said, "I wish I was disabled," and often details as to why and how they wish they were? How receiving disability payments would be great, or what disability they would choose, so on and so forth. I am extremely offended by these statements, and I have said so to this person directly, multiple times. Apparently, they aren't getting it. They still joke about it. Like, no, you do not get to choose your disability. What the fuck? It is not easy. Sorry. It is not easy, nor is it something to look forward to or to intentionally cause because it makes life easier. They also say they think about causing themselves harm that would qualify them. I do not enjoy being in a body that betrays me on a regular basis. And because of my household income, I don't receive any financial support, despite being finally approved as legally disabled. I was a child when it all went down, yet somehow it all worked out this way. I don't know, and that's in bracket. So, literally, everything they say is just rude. I don't understand this. I literally cannot comprehend it. It also doesn't classify as dark humor, in quotations. No, that's just not an excuse. Please
Mike,
give me all the simple yet epic comebacks to say when these statements are made. I am beyond fed up.
okay. Yay! Well read. Mike, you do realize that it's on read more, so we can't actually see the entire post?
Yes, I definitely realize that way. And, hang on, well, oh, there we go.
There you go. You're welcome.
Oh no, it's doing that thing again where it keep going off of Holy Folk. There we go. Um, there. Okay. Uh, Thank you for that tidbit. I did not realize that actually. So I'm glad to know that I need to check on that.
Yay! Also, I did nothing.
You what?
I did nothing.
So what are your thoughts, Ray?
Uh, I will admit I am not that great at comebacks. However, I do have, as someone who's pretty much the entire family is disabled, and hear those things a lot regarding to uh Aish and ADAP and all that, and people saying, "Oh, people with disabilities get life handed to them and they don't want to work and all that." Even me, who's on income support, I get told on a daily basis, especially by my dad, "Oh, you're gonna be too comfortable." And a lot of people say, "Well, I wish I could just like qualify for this. That way I wouldn't have to work." That's not how it works. A lot of times disability is barely livable on it.
Mhm.
Like a 70% of my income at least is spent on rent.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so and people with disabilities here, they cannot afford an apartment by themselves often. Or if they can, they give up on a lot of different things. I know, Mike, you do.
It's very tight. Yeah, it's very tight. Living on your own on disability assistance. To try and pay your rent and pay your bills and buy food and also um have a life. You know,
Yeah.
do things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah, so I find that, honestly, I wouldn't even use the word offended. I would actually use the word insulting. But yeah, there is a certain amount of comfortability knowing that you will always have that income. But at the same time, you do not want to live off that income. That is
No,
not
no,
something you strive to do.
no,
That is
no,
not something any person with a disability strives to do.
no, no. Um, and yet we have government and we have people that are saying, "Oh, you should be so grateful that you get the, tiny little amount." And it's not enough. Yeah, it really isn't. Hell, shall we see what some of these comebacks are? I don't know how I'm gonna do this, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, I unfortunately cannot scroll your screen for you.
Well, the reason that it's an issue is because um oh, what happened? Oh, I see
You
what
have
happened.
several things on at once, and you only have one screen.
No, the issue is that every time I scroll down, it changes the um it changes the thing. So the first comment, and we won't go through all of these comments, we'll just kind of read a few. Um, is I love making dreams come true. And then somebody with a what is that?
Mallet.
A mallet.
I like this comment from OP, who says, "These comments, you all has made me feel so much better about being offended like I am. We'll try to respond to everyone individually, but I don't know if I will get around to it with how quickly the y'all are commenting. I appreciate every one of you."
um, yeah. Uh,
Do you want to just scroll and I can read out the comments?
well,
Would that be easier?
Maybe. Maybe we can try it that way. Like I said, folks, this is the first time that we are trying this. So, yeah, if you don't mind, again, we don't have to read them
That's
all.
good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, a little down.
Yeah, hey, every time I do that, it takes it off. It takes it off of OBS. So, like, if I open up Firefox, it'll take the share screen off OBS.
Huh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I I don't know how to fix that. I've had multiple screens since I started streaming, so it's hard for me to, like, know how to fix these things.
Yeah. Um,
I do remember having a similar problem back when I started, but that was a while ago. That was 3 years ago now?
oh wow. Yeah, you're a pro at it now.
Well, I'm a
um,
pro at having multiple screens, I guess.
somebody said, rightfully offended. Is your lack of empathy a permanent condition? And OP said this, keeping this one in my pocket. Okay, well, that was a good one. Do you want to read one of yours, Ray?
I do not mind. Let's
Okay,
see. Let's
so give
move
me a
this over
moment.
here.
Yeah, and we will switch the screen.
All right. So the first couple are going to be about autism because why not? Oh, I cut that off slightly. Oh no, I did it. Just it's too zoomed in. Why is it that zoomed in?
Mine is perfect on my end. Just saying. Just going back to your earlier comment of Mike doesn't know how to do stuff.
Okay, view. Okay, there you go. We got it fixed.
Yay! Not that anybody on my stream is saying anything different, but
Basically, I thought the title had been cut off because like the the actual like display of what is displayed on the thing was really big. And
oh, I see.
I had to scroll up and down to find it. I know why it happened, but yeah. Anyway, so our first one. I've been consistently told that I can't be autistic because my special interests are too broad. Hi everyone. 15 female. I was diagnosed at an autistic level 1 about 6 months ago, and the people in my life haven't been taking it as well as I'd hoped. My parents are honestly just a bit ignorant. I don't really blame them as they are not autistic. Actually, no one other than my in my family is woo other is diagnosed, but I suspect two of my grandparents may be autistic. One is diagnosed with ADHD and the other OCD. They tend to think my shutdowns and meltdowns are just being moody. I hate that word. Or difficult. My brother is the worst, though. He likes to say I'm faking my autism for like a million different reasons. One of his favorites is that my special interests are too broad. My two biggest special interests are birds and history. Apparently, because of those broad topics, are not super specific, like history of one particular type of train from 1847 to 1862. Lol. That means they aren't actually special interests. Can I really be interested in a broad topic? Birds have so many different things to learn about, and so does history. I also have specific things within those topics that I get way more obsessed with. I feel like people have this idea that autistic people have to be obsessed with one specific thing 24/7 for like their entire lives, or else they're faking. And if you don't fit that stereotype, suddenly your autism is questionable. And it's extra annoying because I didn't self diagnose myself based on a TikTok. I was professionally diagnosed with level 1 autism 6 months ago. I don't expect my brother to understand everything about autism, but being told I'm faking a diagnosis because I don't act how he thinks an autistic person should act is really frustrating. What do you think, Mike?
Um, I mean, I can't speak specifically to autism, but I think that, anybody, family, friend, relative, whatever it is, coworker, not believing that you have a disability or not, like taking the time to understand even a little bit about your disability, can be really hurtful. And, um, you know, I think that sometime in life, when, we go through things, or we're diagnosed with something, or something happens in our lives, it's really a true test of who is going to be there to support us and who is not going to be there to support us. And that's a really hard reality and hard pill to swallow. But I think sometimes that's true. And what you do find in those situations is that there will be people that, support you and believe you and will try to understand you. And those are the people that you should lean on and, allow to be a big presence in your life.
Yeah, I agree. I was trying to nod, but my model needs to be re-rigged to be more
Ladies and gentlemen, I really like that I said something very philosophical and thoughtful and thought provoking, and way over there thinking my model needs to be realigned.
I was trying to nod and I couldn't because my model is like really stiff. I need to I need to redo it. Anyway, you are perfectly correct. Um yeah, it's really hard, especially when it's family members and like OP's pretty young, and she can't exactly leave those family members. She's stuck with them.
Yeah,
I don't know if the brother is younger or older, but especially if he's older, like that really sucks. Like, I'm sorry, dude.
yeah,
Um, for if it's a younger brother, like it's more understanding because
yeah,
especially pretty young, but still, like the parents should teach the brother. But since they just they think OP is kind of exaggerating, like it's really
yeah.
hard.
What I would say to that, and I guess what I was trying to say with my point is more like, yeah, no, it may be a situation where you can't actually get away from that brother or that family member, but if a thing where you find people around you who are going to be that safe space and who do believe you, and you build that community and that chosen family outside of your family. And I know that to be really hard to do, especially if you have a really good relationship with your with family member. But sometimes that can be really helpful to kind of ease some of that frustration and that pain.
Yeah, I have two caveats as someone who has a relatively complicated family life. Uh, for example, like I loved school. I would dread going back home. Um, because every time I would go back home, like I would be submitted to whatever's going on in my family.
Mhm.
and it was a lot. Like, yeah. There you go.
Well, thank you for sharing
So,
that. Do you want to look at the comment?
in a sec, I was just
Oh,
gonna
totally,
say,
totally.
I sorry I yawned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't done. So, even if you build like that chosen family and stuff, you're still stuck with your real family.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, like it or not, that takes a toll.
Yeah.
And at some point, your chosen family isn't enough. And sorry to say this because it's hard for people who don't have a complicated family life to understand.
Yeah.
But if you're constantly going back to somewhere where you're miserable, it's gonna start affecting the outside as well.
Right. Yeah.
And unfortunately, yeah, find some friends and stuff that work, but you're gonna deal with that for a while, and that's just the unfortunate truth of the matter. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for it to get kind of sad there, but I have
Hey.
experience with this type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
No, for sure.
all right. So, the top one commenter. A special interest can range from a micro topic to an entire academic field. Broad subjects like history, all animals, science, or art are very common, and even within a broad subject, individuals often accumulate vast amount of detailed facts, timelines, categories, etc. That's neither here nor there, though. Having a special interest is a hallmark characteristic of autism, but it is not a strict or defining feature for a diagnosis. Um, and
Which
Opie says,
I will say,
"Oh,
as
go."
somebody, ignorant like me, I had a thought, before I understood more about autism, that was a defining feature. I thought that every person with autism, was really good at math and, had some sort of special interest.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them have special interests. It's a hallmark. Like most autistic people have a special interest, but
Right.
how broad or how small or that is the difference. And oftentimes a special interest does not always seem like a special interest because it's just really broad.
Right.
So Opie says some other things that are signs that I'm faking. You never used to stim. Well, I did, you just weren't paying attention. You are not a picky eater. I'm a bit sensitive to textures, but thankfully I'm pretty sensory seeking with food. You don't have a set routine. I have rituals and rules. Example, I need to be home before 8 because I can't shower after 8 p.m. I actually really struggled with eating, not because I didn't like food, but because of rigidity. Rigidity. Rid. Oh well. You don't have meltdowns. Granted, I very rarely have big meltdowns. But if you go back to, say, second grade, I was constantly getting in trouble for having meltdowns. 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes more. Plus, I still have shutdowns. Uh, and then another one says, you literally don't even need to have a special interest at all. Show them the DSM.
Yes.
So, yeah,
And if you
those
don't know
are
what
the comments.
if you don't know what the DSM is, it is the I guess the Bible of disorders and everything, basically.
The Bible of disorders.
My dad had the Joy of Cooking book, and he called it the Cooking Bible. Like he would call it the Bible. So yes, I'm calling the DSM the Bible for psychology.
Okay, I know D stands for diagnostic. I don't remember what M, I believe it's manual or something. I don't remember what the S stands for.
I don't remember either.
Anyway, are you we going to the next?
Diagnostic
Are we
Special
doing like
Interest
1-1?
Manual. Alright.
Are we doing 1-1?
Yeah. So I will do the next one. Just give me one moment to my stream. So go here. Now, actually, this is one that I specifically picked, for Ray.
Uh-oh.
Um, because if anybody would have, some thought, it would be Ray. So, let me just here. Oh wait, I'm looking
I
at the
mean
wrong.
I mean, Vinyl could also potentially have thoughts, but he's not here with us today.
Yeah. Okay. Now you can't hear the whole thing, but I will.
Scroll down.
I wonder. Hang on a second. I'm going to do some finagling. Just give me a moment. Uh,
In case anyone's wondering why I'm yawning so much, I was sleeping a lot because I have a cold, had a cold, and now I'm recovering from oversleeping, and so I've been up since like 2 because I only let myself take a nap from 1 to 2,
oh.
and so I'm rather tired, but oh well. I'm not
Well.
supposed to go to bed till 9. I've also been going to bed really late lately. Cue my dancing at 1 a.m. yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Need opinion of artists with disability. Now we understand why I chose this one specifically for her. Hi everyone.
Yeah.
I'm 58 and have been on disability for 27 years. I'm a professional visual artist. I never had any formal education, but I built a long-term career from the ground up. Though I didn't make much money, I'm I've continued to be an exhibiting artist. A few years ago, my partner and caregiver set up a first person special needs trust for me. Ever since, my local SSA office, I'm assuming that Social Security something?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
US thing, probably.
Has been harassing me, using every amount I take out of out of the trust as overpayment for them. Oh boy, do I ever know what that is like. Because the financial assistance for people with disabilities that we have here also do that kind of thing. But here they pull it back. They don't take it out. So, uh, I had to get a lawyer who is now helping and challenging their reasoning, since there is no way I could ever pay it back. All this has made me consider how I can get away from Social Security altogether, so I was right about the SS. I am disabled both physically and mentally, so if I start working, I don't even know if I could cope. But I had no idea. Sorry, I had an idea to work for myself as an artist mentor, specifically for artists with disabilities. I've started going to community college part time and am working on a degree in sociology. I'm taking public speaking and learning ASL, etc. I figured if I could get private clients, I could mentor them over Zoom for a small hourly fee. I don't I don't need to make a ton of money, just part-time amount, and stay on Medicaid through 1619B. I don't know what that means, but and keep my health benefit while being self-employed. I started getting very excited about providing this service because I love helping others and I truly have lots of knowledge in this area. I was feeling very optimistic until I showed an artist friend of mine the mock up of what my business would look like. He seemed to think that I wouldn't really get any clients because people with disabilities don't have enough money to pay $100 an hour, which is true. Most art members and coaches charge over $250 an hour, but I would be catering specifically to artists who are navigating major barriers in addition to starting out an art career from scratch. This artist friend pays an art coach $225 an hour, which is why I asked her opinion in the first place. She also said trying to find clients would be too hard because it would require too much promoting that I may not be able to do. But I promoted myself as an artist all my life. Now I'm feeling defeated about starting my own business. Should I just give up on this dream or push through and try to make a go of it? Would it be too exhausting? I have lupus, bipolar disorder, and a spine disorder. Or would I be just another fish in a big pond of art mentors and coaches in an already saturated market? As artist with disabilities, your opinions matter to me. And in brackets it says, this has been edited since I first posted it.
Okay. So I actually have a lot to say on this.
There we go. I knew it.
First off, as someone who has scrounged up the money to have my model and also worked hard to get like live 2D so I can start rigging and like learn to rig properly after doing the free version for 2 years. I I do not believe that people with disabilities, artists with disabilities, will actually not. Oh, apparently it's all when I talk that the biggest ones come. Uh, I don't believe that people, especially artists with disabilities, would not pay $100. I think they'd be very happy because that is one of the cheaper things. Like, I'm not currently paying that because my internet just bill just went up. But for like 2 years, I was paying at $60 for my singing lessons. Like, I made it work. I wanted to learn how to sing, so I made it work. Um, I think the friend, I don't know how much I trust the friend because it sounds like she is intentionally trying to put you down, OP. Um yeah, being like, "Oh, um yeah, the people with disabilities wouldn't pay $100 an hour," when I don't know if she's able-bodied, but she's paying 225. Um Like, you don't know what the situation. I'd warrant that a lot of people with disabilities would pay $100 an hour. Um, she also said, like, too much promotion. Again, like, you said it yourself, you have experience promoting. Like, who is she? Does she have, like, the knowledge that you have? Like, how is she promoting? How far is she compared to you? Like, does it matter even? Like, I'd say go for it. Like, yeah, maybe you won't be able to, maybe, but there's no harm in trying.
Mhm.
Like, I'm actively working. I'm someone who makes nothing, and I really mean nothing. I make under $1,000 a month, and which is less than disability, by the way. And I'm still trying. Like, I'm a writer. I love writing. I also do a little bit of art, but what I want to do is make essentially um workshops that I can do on schools to help people learn how to write, but not sorry, learn to find their creative voice and learn to find what they like writing about and their medium and everything. Um, it, I'm doing it. I have no qualifications, but that doesn't matter. I want to do it. I love teaching people about writing. I love seeing their people's faces when they finally figure something out. Like, I'm doing it. No qualifications. If you have the qualifications, that is incredible. Go for it. Like, I don't know what's going on through your friend's mind, but yeah, no. I no. Yeah, go for it. Honestly.
I definitely agree with that part. I think going for it is a great idea, and trying it is a great idea. I also agree. I don't get the best vibe from the friend. He seems a tiny bit ableist. But here is where I'm gonna disagree with Ray. I think because as somebody who does content creation, which is a form of art, myself, I I have firsthand knowledge of you know maybe wanting to try a class or try editing software or something, and it's maybe $100 or something, and I can't afford it. Um, and that is a really it causes me a lot of shame knowing that I can't afford to do that. Um, and so I my advice would be offer a sliding scale. So you could even put $225 as the maximum amount per hour. And then at the very low end, you put $25 per hour. And it allows people to pay what they can for that coaching, for that mentorship. And then it doesn't,
Okay,
like, sorry, go ahead.
I have a caveat to that.
Okay.
One, I sorry, I have two caveats to that. One, from what I can understand, she would need to charge that OP would need to charge $100 an hour to make ends meet. Like that seems to be the minimum. And two, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be too much work for OP to for individual clients to determine or like how much do you make? And at that point you run into like proof of income and needing to like sorry, needing to like confirm things and all that and with while respecting people and like a lot of people if they know you have a sliding scale, unfortunately they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Um
I think
and
though, I mean, I think if you explain your situation and you explain, you know, the fact that you yourself have a disability and why you have the sliding scale, I think that there are people out there that, would not take advantage of that, and maybe they would pay the higher price because they also want to help you. They want to give you that support. And also I
yes.
think with the income thing, I don't necessarily think you need to do that. And even if you did, maybe I don't know, maybe your friend, if they're not ableist, and Ray and I are wrong, maybe they'd be willing to help you, or maybe there's somebody that would be willing to do that side of things, so you could have that person checking on income and things like that.
So yeah, the other thing I want, yeah, having help would help, but again it gets to the point of like safety for the person with disabilities because like you don't give your income statement to just anyone.
Mhm.
That is a very bad idea. Especially, yeah, you don't give your income statement to just anyone. So you wouldn't give it to a coach. That's not
No, yeah,
safe.
yeah, yeah.
So you
But
can
I
ask
don't
them.
know.
I agree that there are some people who wouldn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But also, like, she's already the OP's already I'm sorry if you don't use she, that's just my default. I'm sorry. OP OP doesn't seem to be, what was I saying?
You know what? You are correct. They did not give a gender. I for some reason thought it said female. You're right. They didn't give a gender.
Oh, OP is already targeting people with disabilities, and
Yeah.
I also, if people with disabilities are looking for an art coach, like usually they expect to pay a decent amount. And if you don't want to pay this decent amount, you can always go on places like Preply and get something over there. I know I've done it a little bit for like singing. I didn't
What is
like it, so
Foya
I
Play?
stopped. Preply.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mentor thing, like where like people teach you different subjects, but you have to like, and it's like really cheap, but
Oh, that's
you
cool.
the reason I stopped using Preply is you have to pay like a couple sessions in advance, and I wasn't able to do that at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they want to do that, then they can go on something like Preply. $100 for people who are serious and like have saved the money and are people with disabilities who really want or need an art coach. They are going to give the money. They're expecting to pay $250.
Yeah.
Like they've seen the rates. They're expecting to pay $250. So if they find you and they're like, "Oh, well, you're only paying $100," then yeah, that I'd say go for it. I would disagree with the sliding scale because there's no way to enforce that, and I would just like, yeah, I would just trust that there are a fair amount of people with disabilities who are looking to get art coached, and they have the means.
Yeah.
Not all
I
people with disabilities are stuck on low income, is my
yeah.
point.
I do want to read this comment, because OP did reply and seemed to appreciate it. This is what they said. From my standpoint, I've worked with people in situations very similar to yours, and the first thing I'd say is don't make a permanent decision based on the person's opinion. Your friend raised valid concerns, but they're business challenges, not proof your idea won't work. The biggest mistake I see is people trying to replace their SSI, social insurance, or social security, um, immediately. Don't. Build build the business while protecting your benefits. Start with just a handful of clients. Document every dollar you earn and work with a benefits planner, WIPA/CWIC if you're in the US, before making any decisions that could affect SSI or Medicaid. They can help you understand work incentives, PASS plans, ILWEs, and how to structure self employment without unnecessary surprises. As for pricing, don't assume you need to start at $100 an hour. Your first goal is validation, not maximizing income. Charge a rate that makes it easy for your first few clients to say yes. Collect testimonials and measurable results, then gradually increase your rate as demand grows. People don't pay for coaches because they're wealthy. They pay because the value outweighs the cost. I also think your niche is stronger than you realize. You're not trying to compete with every art coach on the internet. You're serving artists with disabilities from lived experience. That's a specific audience with specific needs, and that's what good businesses are built on. Before spending money or quitting SSI, I'd recommend testing the idea for 60 to 90 days. Create a simple website or landing page, offer a few introductory sessions, post consistently where disabled artists already gather, and see whether people actually book. Let the market answer the question instead of assumption. Finally, regarding the SSA issues, with your special needs trust, continue working with your attorney because those cases can be complicated. Don't make major financial or benefits decisions unless the trust issue is resolved and you've received advice from both your attorney and a certified benefit counselor. I want to read the response from OP really quick. Very awesome reply and advice. Thank you so much. I am in the middle of being onboarded with the Department of Rehabilitation, which I think they're going to set me up with a WIPA counselor. I have no plans to charge money for this yet. In fact, I am doing a couple of free workshops first. Yes, while I wait for the SNT thing with the lawyer to settle. I have built a simple web page, but it only to do 20-minute free consult. I just wanted to get a few opinions before I actually write out any kind of business plan and talk to my local SSA office. I'm pretty sure my counselor is DOR will help me with this once I get all my documents together. And yes, once I make any money at this, I will be documenting every dollar and keeping it all separate, but I need to be certain I'm going to do it first. Thanks again for your reply.
Yeah, I agree with the reply. It did touch on some stuff that I forgot. If you want to scroll down slightly so that people who like to read instead of
Oh, did
talk
I
can
not get the
actually
whole
see.
thing on there? Sorry.
No, you missed like most of OP's
Oh.
reply. There you go. Uh,
Okay.
there you go. You're there.
Alright. Yeah, no, I also think that's a good reply. And I think offering a couple free sessions so that people can, come and see what you have to offer and, get a feel for it, that's also not a bad idea.
Yeah. The only thing, like personally for me, uh, especially from what I see, is like if you raise your prices later on, like a lot of the times your people will understand. However, inevitably you're gonna get criticism about like client uh client loyalty and stuff. So you do have to be careful with that. But of course, doing free sessions and like testing things out, that's perfect. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Even though that's what I plan to do. So,
Hooray, would you like to read one more story? I know it's 8:30, so.
oh yeah, sure. I don't care. It's just I have to stay awake till 9.
Ah,
Not I have to
okay.
go to bed at 9.
Okay. I am gonna turn off my camera for a second and get a drink while you start reading. But I am
Okay.
gonna switch the stream. So, okay, look at that beautiful flaming chat. I mean, technically it
Okay,
could be up a little bit. Oh,
I'm gonna switch because I think the one I was on was really important for you. You would have had stuff to say, so I'm gonna switch to this beautiful art of someone sharing their special
well, you can
interest.
start reading. I'm not going forward. I'm just going backwards. My kitchen is right there.
Okay, fine. All right. Small talk is actually important. The reason people have small talk is to learn little tidbits about you so they can form an image of who you are. This is what pretty much all conversations are about, but small talks keeps it low stakes without needing to cross into something that one may consider too personal to share with a worker or casual acquaintance. This could also help to build up to big talk, as when people have those little tidbits about you, it helps them understand your thought process a bit more. Let the convo go more smoothly and make it more interesting. And yes, you do need small talk for this. And no, you, yes, you specifically, are not smart enough to make big talk automatically interesting. No one is. You wouldn't even know if your topic of choice would particularly appeal to the person you're talking to if you don't have the tidbits you get from small talk. Whew. Communication is an important skill to have, like it or not. Small talk is an important part of it. So it feels distressing to me when I see other autistics write off small talk so easily. I think it's getting more it is getting difficult. It is yeah. I get that it's more difficult for some of us than it is for neurotypical, but just because it's difficult does not mean you should give up trying to be good at it. Imagine you're giving up reading because you don't understand the meaning of some words, or give up on drinking water because you occasionally spill your drink. I do agree. I will say I am awful at small talk. Um,
As am I.
yeah, but my my issue is less with small talk per se. It's more so I don't have anything to talk about. I have very niche interests, and like going up to some like talking with someone and being like, "Oh yeah, I like VTubing, writing," and then they're like, "Oh, what is VTubing or what do you write?" And I'm like, "Oh, I write fantasy and dystopia." And they're like, they always make like this face. I've even had some people say, "You're too young to write dystopia." Like, what? Um anyway, so there's a lot there, and because I have such little I don't have typical interests. Like most people don't go in depth about how right now I'm learning how the tectonic plates work because I want to create a map that's not Pangea. Like I want to create my map. I'm not happy with the map I have right now. So it's it's hard. I understand that. I have an extra level on it because until I was like 15, I didn't have any other topics to talk about except writing. Uh, and Mike can attest to this. Most people have to learn what VTubing and streaming is, and they
Yeah.
don't understand.
No. No.
So it that makes it even harder. Like I've grasped the concept of small talk. I just don't have anything to small talk about without getting
Yeah,
into
honestly, I think I have the same problem. It's a matter of like knowing how to do small talk, and it just like yeah, I'm not good at it. I'm the kind of person that like just wants to get to the meat of the conversation. It's why when if I've had people send me a message on Facebook and just say hi. Like that is all that they will say. They will not like they won't even say how are you. They'll just be like hi or hello. And I'm the kind of asshole that I've stopped responding to those. If you send me a message, not in chat, but if you send me a message on Facebook or text or whatever, and you just say hi or hello, I will not respond to you.
Yeah, I do respond, but, like, you're just gonna get a hi from me, like, you gotta do the work. Um, yeah, like I said, if I had more to talk about, small talk would be decently easy for me. Just, I have
Well,
nothing to talk about.
one thing I will say, like, and it kind of had, I guess, but I find that like my family, like when I go to a family reunion or something like that, like my family knows that I do disability advocacy. They know that I do all this stuff, but they don't show any interest in that. They don't ask me how that's going or what's going on or stuff like that. And so I don't know, maybe it's a family trait that none of us are good at small talk. I don't know. But
Tell me about it. Um, honestly, same. Because my interests are so niche, like, every time I try to talk to someone about, like, my interest, especially family members, the first thing I see is their eyes glaze over,
mhm, yeah.
and it's like, you don't actually wanna listen. So I one of my grandfather, I just let him talk. I answer, like, his easy questions, and then I let him talk. But my grandmother likes to have a conversation. But
Right.
unfortunately, she's not willing to learn what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So it's really hard to have a conversation with someone that you don't know what they're talking about. And
Yeah.
so often at family reunions, I end up like off to the side and like barely talking and stuff like that. I've actually spent some family reunions with my headphones pacing somewhere quiet. That way, like I'm out of the way and I don't have to talk and like deal with people's eyes glazing over and feeling rejected and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um yeah, it's a lot and no one I think it comes from a place of no one understanding, but also it sucks that people don't want to understand. Like anyway, I have my own
Yeah.
gripes about it, but
I will say I do have one cousin who I can talk to about things and like he's the kind of guy that can literally talk to anybody about anything. So I'll send him to your family reunion. Wait.
yeah, when I was younger, I had my cousin. But for a while, he lived in Spain, and I didn't get to see him at the family reunions. So I would try my sister, but my sister would always hang out with my younger cousins because she was younger.
Mhm.
So I basically had no one to talk to. But now my cousin's back. We're having fun. Like, he's staying at my mom's actually, and yeah, hopefully the next family reunion, I'll actually get to to talk to people.
Hopefully, yeah.
Granted, not much, but you know,
Yeah, well,
people
I
when they
find I find even
fam
having one person there that you can talk to is better than having no people.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the only thing people seem to want to talk about on family reunion is like news, and like The only news they want to hear from me is, "Hey, did you get a job?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like, no, not yet. I haven't even gotten an interview because people don't seem to want to see me.
Yeah.
So I've been to many employment agencies. Like, I've gotten 4 or 5 interviews in 3 years.
Wow.
No, less than that. 4 interviews in 3 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
impressive, right?
Very impressive. Yeah. How do
And
you
one
do
of them was a VTubing agency, so
it? Do you
yeah.
want to
So
look at? Hey.
I'll read the comments in a second. It's just rough. Like, when everyone just wants to hear one thing from you, and you aren't able to say that thing, and you're like, "Oh, but I'm doing this, this,
Yeah.
this because I keep busy."
Yeah.
They don't want to hear it.
No. No.
They get single-minded, and yeah, yeah, you're lost to them. Like,
Yeah.
once they don't hear what they want to hear, you're you're done. Like, they
Especially
do
when
it
it.
in a nice way where, like, they switch the conversation topic and, like, switch the person they're talking to. Like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
literally just move on. Like, what?
Yeah, and like especially when it's older people, I find that they tend to be the worst for that kind of thing because they do believe that having a job, having a traditional 9 to 5 job is the only way to live your life and you know
Yeah.
be fulfilled, and that's not true.
I the every time I talk to my grandfather, you know what he says?
What?
"Well, have you had a job yet?" And when I say no, "Oh, you should be a bookkeeper. You're so good at organizing." Like, first off, that takes certificates, but also, second, I can't currently study due to anxiety.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, uh, okay. I think the biggest mind blown moment on this for me was when my boss, teaching workshops on managing workplace aggression, said that finding small and easy ways to interject ways to humanize yourself is the most effective strategies for reducing likelihood of aggression towards you. Sounds pretty obvious, I thought. Then she continued by giving examples and asking the room for things, what kind of things they could bring up in brief conversation, or even without words, like with a pin or something. That's when I realized they were literally just naming small talk topics. If they tried to do this with me, actually, some people have tried. I'm going to get into that in a sec. Small talk is a way to humanize yourself to others so they see you as a birds of a feather rather than an outsider or dehumanized. Insert job title or ostracized label here. It helps them know you're safe too. But it blew my mind to learn that it's also to make others see you as a human. By the way, common examples are sports, weather, being a parent, being a part of a common group like church or chess team, being members of the same town, watching similar TV shows, and so on. Yeah. So someone has actually I've actually been asked to, like, uh what could you bring up in a brief conversation? And I have never been able to properly answer that question. Like, I give my answers because that's what I like to talk about, and, like, what this is me kind of answers. And they always say, "Well, that's not what I mean," or "You have to find something else." And it really sucks.
Yeah.
And, like, these examples, like sports. I don't watch sports. Weather, I don't. Sure. How long does that last? Very
About
little.
5 seconds.
Being a parent.
Yeah.
I'm not a parent. I barely count as a youth. I it's really hard for me because even as a young person, I didn't connect with the young people, and now I'm at
Yeah.
the point where I don't connect with anyone really. Like my best friend is 32.
Well, I assuming you're talking about me. Wait, no, I'm 33. I know how old I am. um, but uh, yeah. What one thing I will tell you though, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but I really do believe that it's true. Like, when you turn 30, you will look at your 20s and just be like, I am so glad that's over. Like,
I'm
I
glad
hated
it's
my 20s.
yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Being part of a common group like church or chess team, I'm not part of any common group. I'm trying to become a VTuber, but I have no VTuber friends. Like content creators, I have two content creator friends. Like, and they're my best friends. So being part a member of the same town, yes, because the capital of the city of the province is a town. Yeah, sure, I can say, oh, I'm from Legal, but it's been so long, it's changed so much.
Yeah.
Like, no, I haven't been in Legal since I was like 6. Like, I was in Legal for very short period. But yeah, watching similar TV shows. I don't watch TV shows. The books I like to read are either very obscure or French from France. Yeah, it's very hard to connect to people
You
when
do
that
watch some
happens.
TV shows. They're just very specific TV shows.
I also don't really watch TV shows, like, even because I have to spin at the same time, like, the only TV show I can watch regularly is Bones.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so that's why I struggled. None of those examples connect me with others. Exactly. Uh, okay. Sometimes the simplest is just pointing out anything you both are currently doing. It's true for both of you. Could be wearing the same colored shirt, or the fact that you're doing the same task, live in the same town, or something. I'm saying that though, there's nothing wrong with not doing it if it's not for you. Knowing a thing might be helpful with understanding what's happening and being able to address it. Call it out bluntly if needed, or know how to feel okay to ask for help. At work, not feel bad to call a manager, because it might help take the guesswork out of the interaction for you. A lot of the people we train, Allistics too, struggle to notice hostility at early stages, and being aware of that helps them feel more confident to ask for support or terminate a call early before things escalate if they're looking like they're going to. We also want to make sure to teach a bit on how they may present in neurodiverse cultural or other groups, and be mindful that it might just be the lack of eye contact for a non-aggression reason. It is a cluster of behaviors together, not just one, which I'm glad about because I still have not disclosed my disability at work yet. Not sure if I will, but it's also a fairly new role still. If you look up continuum of workplace aggression, you will see more describing the behaviors at different levels.
Also, I mean, like, even if you're doing the same task with somebody, there's only so much you can talk about that task. You
Yeah.
know?
Or like the weather.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, because I.
people talk about the weather first thing, and it's like, yeah, it's raining. Sure. Yeah, it's raining.
How has the weather been? Oh, it's been
Yeah.
sunny. It's been rainy.
Like over here in America, I have the same weather tactics. Weather's good. Wow, nice weather we're having today. It's raining. How about that rain? Weather's too hot. Man, how's that heat treating you? So snowy. Lovely weather we're having today. It's like the world's most brilliant cheat code for talking to humans.
This would actually be really cool if somebody created like a deck of code that was like small talk code. And you went up to somebody at like a family reunion or wherever you're at, and you say, pick a code. And the code has like a question on it, like how's the weather, or um what something interesting you did over the summer, or something like that. But like that would be an interesting way to kind of get the conversation going.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of those that most people it works, I guess. For me, like my brain lags.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard when like, oh, what's the weather like? Eh? uh, I, it's sunny. What do you want me to say here?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like, what have you done during the summer? I don't remember. Like, what, you expected me to remember that thing? Which, by the way, Saskatoon season is coming up.
What's coming out?
Saskatoon and raspberry season.
Ah, yeah.
Late August, that's when it hits.
Mmm. Yummy.
Yeah, we have to get together and go and get some Saskatoons.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, do you wanna keep going on this one, or do you want me to read my last one that I have?
Okay, read your last one.
Or do you want to show this one first? You can, since it's already on the screen. Sure.
I realized it's Saturday, so I wanted to share my special interest. I really love drawing and just wanted to share it. I noticed a question in the community and saw how welcoming everyone is. I realized it's Saturday where I am and noticed some people sharing their artwork, so I wanted to try that too. So this is a really beautiful artwork.
It is.
Then we have this one.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm
Can
not.
you? Sorry.
I don't think I can zoom in now.
No, not zoom in, but can you scroll down just a little bit? There you go.
Okay.
That is
But now
very cool.
It doesn't show the whole picture.
It does on mine. Just, Mike knows how to do things now.
There you go.
I can't tell what it is, though. Oh, wait, yes, I can. Yeah, no, I understand now. Sorry. I was looking at the top and not paying attention to the bottom.
Yep. Anyway. This one's not nearly as detailed, but it's still pretty nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is tough. Oh, apparently, I love J.P. Harvey as well. Apparently, they're...
He kind of looks like Doug, I'm not gonna lie. If you know, you know.
Okay.
Doug was a TV show in the early 2000s.
These are abstract. These are awesome. They really remind me of the drawings from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but more abstract. Love it. I would hang the first one in my bedroom. Yeah. So there you go. Do yours.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Now we will do the final. Do you have any more? Wait.
Give me a sec.
Oh. I was very confused why I could see your cursor on my stream and then realized that it was just I was on your stream.
32, give or take.
Okay. Okay.
When I told you I found a couple, like
Well, I thought you meant two.
I sent you a picture.
Oh,
Did
you
you not
did?
look
Oh,
at
I
the
didn't even
picture?
look. Okay, I didn't even look at that. Sorry.
You would have seen it. Like, you can't even read what it is. It's just all the Reddit symbols.
Alright, so here we go. Why do people think I owe them an explanation of my disability? I use paratransit, which I am approved for by the state. It often seems like I get bus drivers who inquire about my disability. I rarely get the same driver twice because a third party bus company handles paratransit rides in my city. Due to my disability, I sometimes walk with a cane and sometimes use a wheelchair. Because it's summertime, the heat has really gotten to me lately. So I've used my wheelchair a lot more than my cane. Yesterday, since it was rainy and cool out, I decided to use my cane. However, my pickup dispatcher had me marked as a wheelchair user. So, when the driver picked me up, he was confused. I gently explained to him that I decided to take my cane today. He raised his eyebrows and ignorantly stated that if I could walk, I shouldn't be using a wheelchair. Then he demanded to know what my disability even was. He is not the first driver to do this to me. He's probably the fifth. I am growing tired of people acting like I have no right to use my wheelchair just because I can walk, or that I owe them an education on my disability. I've decided that moving forward, I'm just going to tell them, don't worry about it. It doesn't affect you now, does it? It doesn't affect you now, does it? Honestly, why is it their business? If I need a wheelchair accessible bus, I let the dispatch know when I schedule my ride a week in advance. You would think the driver who picked me up yesterday would be happy he didn't have to use the wheelchair lift. It's less work for him. Anyway, my point is that you don't owe anybody an explanation. Don't feel obligated to explain. It's certainly not polite for them to ask. Yes, I 1000% agree. Um, I think that sometimes people think that they are entitled to information about you. Um, no matter what it's about or no matter who it is, they think that they're entitled to that information and they're not entitled to it. You, like you said, OP, you're approved for paratransit, so you can use paratransit. And if it's like it is here, um, you can choose whether you have your mobility aid, your wheelchair, or your cane, or you don't have anything. I use a walker, and I can change it on my ride when I book as well, if I don't need it for the day. Um,
Well, they said that they have to book it a week in advance.
well, yeah, I have to book it 3 days in advance, so I understand that. But still, it doesn't change the fact that the driver shouldn't be inquiring about, why you're not using the thing that, according to the dispatch, that you're supposed to be using. Like, it's none of
Yeah.
their business, and it's none of their business, you know, to ask about your disability at all.
Yeah, I remember our friend Vinyl, uh, he had a lot of dealing with that too, because he's ambulatory. He
Mhm.
uses a wheelchair most of the time, but every once in a while, like, he'll go with his cane, and a lot of people, like, rant on him about that.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah. So, fun fact, we're at 31 now because I had that post in my list.
Oh. Okay. So I'm gonna read the one and I think only comment on here. Just give me a moment to move the. By the way, we're not reading 31 more stories because I am tired.
Oh, I didn't expect to read 30 more.
Oh no, sorry,
I
that's
just
not a
got a
31
bunch.
comment. Never mind, I'm being dumb. Uh, okay. Let me see here. If I go here. We'll just read the first couple. So, the first comment is if someone is going to be hired for that job, they should be required to be trained to know disability comes in different forms. It's none of their business, and it is incredibly rude and unprofessional to act like they are the police of disabled enough, and that's in quotation. If your paratransit is like the one in my city, you have to show documentation proving your disability. So by the time you get scheduled to be picked up, no one has any reason to be asking you shit. I'm sure you have to go through this. I wish we taught people disability basics in public school. One thing I will say, because the way it works here in our city is uh, the paratransit company, they outsource drivers, sorry, they outsource to taxi drivers, taxi cabs. And so I will say that the taxi cab drivers tend to be the ones that are more ignorant, are more, um, are more geographically, not impaired, but geographically, you know, whatever the word is that I'm looking for. Uh, they don't know geography, and they ask you questions that they should know because they're the ones driving. Um, but yeah, so I don't know if yours is anything like that, but that is how it is here.
Okay, Mike,
Yeah.
you went too far.
How do you mean? Oh, on the thing?
Yeah.
Whoop. I apologize for that. No, I didn't.
Well, the
Oh,
first one is not the one you read.
okay. It's showing a different one on my tablet. It's for some reason.
Yeah, it's showing a different one on my. It's showing the one you said.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
I
I found the
apologize.
one they're giving, but it's a lot lower. Anyway, confusion for another day.
Yeah, I'm apologize, folks. I can't find that. So, but yeah. So that is the final one that I. Oh,
Okay, so
sorry. Wait, did you have anything to add to that?
uh not really. I think you covered it pretty well. I don't use disability transit, so
Okay.
I'm not really the best to speak about that.
I did have a meme that I can show really quick. Uh, if you all want. Especially because I thought that Ray could relate to it. So it says, uh, I asked, I asked my, I asked my new head of Gene, and they
It,
just gave. Hey,
it does say I asked my a new set of jeans. So
thank you.
that you're not having a stroke there.
Thank you. Okay, good. So the meme has standing up, me, and then my blood pressure.
On a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So yeah, as someone who when I don't eat, my blood pressure kind of drops. I think it's my blood pressure anyways, but I get up and like I tumble down. My roommate has even said that I fainted once.
Oh,
Um yeah, I fell. Apparently I was unresponsive for a little bit where he called my name twice and until I was finally able to respond to him and was
right.
finally able to say I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I made it all the way to the fridge, from my bed to the fridge before I fell. It was funny.
Oh no. Well, I mean, okay. Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
at least you're
so I
alive.
understand this one.
Yeah. So that's all that I have. Way do
Okay,
you?
I have two hopeful ones, well, two nice ones.
Okay.
Okay.
So give me a second, and I will fix. There we are, and then there. Perfect. Can you
All right.
scroll
I do
down just a
realize.
touch? A little bit too far. Just one up. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I do realize that from color picking from the disability flagged, I have color picked Leo's slash needs color palette. I guess that means they're all disabled, and I will keep that in mind for my head canons. Original art by me, do not repost, claim as your own, feed on into AI, or steal. Miku will be finished select, so look out for that. So we got a little disability rights by Cat Quartz. Just because their month ends doesn't mean their rights should.
That is amazing. I love that. No.
And then we have another one, which is just Happy Disability Pride Month.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Remember, kids, not all disabilities are visible.
Not all disabilities are what?
Visible.
Oh, visible. Yeah. Very true.
Wonder what. Oh. All right.
Okay.
I think
Well,
I,
wait. Thank you.
I think I like this one better.
So,
I like this one better.
yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree. I really like that one. That's really cute.
Yeah.
So, wait, before we sign off, I was
Yes.
wondering if you would tell the audience, a little bit more about you and your content and where they can find you.
You're trying to give me promotion.
No,
He's trying
not
to
at
give
all.
me free
Not at all.
promotion.
I'm just engaging in small talk. What do you mean?
He's trying to give me free promotion.
No, not at all. Why would I do that? I have no viewers.
Neither do I. But also, you are also on YouTube, so. And your YouTube is much more active than mine. All right. Hi. My name's Rayan, or just Ray. I used to be a gaming VTuber. I am currently making the content switch to become a learning VTuber. Basically, that will entail that I learn stuff and I share my knowledge with you guys. Right now, my latest project has been work in uh, eh, work in ranking world building levels. Not ranking, but like rankings, creating world building levels for what you for countries. So like what is the minimum you have to put in a country, or what is the maximum? I also do like little anti-anxiety stuff like recently, and it's going to go up on my YouTube soon. I have done an anti-anxiety dance where basically I just put on some songs and danced my around, and it was fun. As a way to challenge my anxiety. So streaming was originally my first way of challenging my anxiety, and it's something I've become passionate about. And even though I may take many breaks, I suffer from bipolar, and it is really hard for me to keep things going regularly. I am working on getting medication, but it's not quite there yet. Well, I have medication. It's just not finagled yet.
Finangled, yeah, finangled.
Yeah. Fun things about me. I forgot the word for pot, so I started calling them cauldrons.
Wait, I've
I
known
like
you long enough to know that wasn't an accident.
it was originally. Like I couldn't remember pot, so I just started calling them cauldrons because that's the word that popped up in my head. So yeah, there's that. Fun fact about me, I call pots cauldrons. I also like to stim vocally. So once we get to know each other a little better and all that, I will start to stim. Sometimes it comes from meowing, or like I try not to shriek on stream, but who knows? Like who knows? So yeah, I love writing. Right now I mentioned it earlier, but I'm working on developing my map based on tectonic plates because I don't like the way it's currently installed. Yeah, I use Obsidian for all my writing. I like to draw. I've drawn a Disability Pride alicorn and like some characters and all that. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. For now, more will come.
Alright, and where can people find you? Obviously on Twitch, but where else can people find you?
So right now I'm gonna give my socials first. Ray and Ellie pretty much everywhere. Um, Instagram, TikTok, X. I was on Blue Sky. I kind of got logged out and never came back. I am a little bit on
Hey,
Mastodon. I am a little bit on Mastodon. Yeah. So as for YouTube, I have one called Ray and Ailey VODs, where I will publish all my VODs, and one just named Ray and Ailey, where I will post the finished projects. So that one will be updated far less frequently, but you know, it's fine.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, for the Ray and the Ellie one, you'll see two. There's one with a little purple angel and background, and one with a white one. Both are me, except the first one is my YouTube channel that I forgot the password to and then lost. So I created a new one. Yeah. So that's why it looks like that. You can go check out the content. I mean, I it's there. But yeah. So nothing use the purple one. The purple one is the official one. Anyway,
Alright.
that's where you can find me.
Wonderful. Well, Ray, thank you so much. It looks like my camera has frozen. Thank you so much for. Oh no, there we go. Thank you so much for joining me on the first attempt of new content. And to all of our lovely viewers, thank you for watching. And if you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching the VOD. Please feel free to comment on this live on YouTube. If you like this kind of content, if you think I'm horrible at it and should never do it again, or if you like Ray better than me and think that Ray should do this content and I should not. Um, so thank you everybody, thank you Ray, and have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you, Mike.
Alright.